is Oluwadunsi on the line once again. I welcome you to May Mindful Mom Hangouts. And this month, we'll be talking about self-care. We need to understand the benefits of self-care. How do we take care of ourselves, paying attention to our health at the same time while we take care of our family. Today, we have Ms. Venanza from Harmony Healthcare, and also we have Mr. Phoenix from EOC to do the presentation for us. First of all, welcome with me, Ms. Venanza, to take us through. Then after, we'll be able to ask questions. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vanessa Morello. I am a clinical social worker and I work with Harmony Healthcare Long Island. For those of you that are not familiar with Harmony Healthcare Long Island, we have 9 health centers throughout Nassau County, and we provide services ranging from adult family medicine, behavioral health, dental, vision, nutrition, optometry, and podiatry, among others. I am here to talk to you today about self-care for moms specifically. So when I was thinking about this workshop today, I had to go and do some digging, and I had to go down the rabbit hole and learn more about specifically what are the statistics for this. And I found that 78% of moms say that they put off taking care of their own health to take care of their family. So as mom, this translates to we are doing a lot of caring for a lot of people, but not enough caring for us. So that's where the problem begins. But 78%, that led me to do a lot of reflection on my own self also as a mom. And I believe that true-heartedly that self-care, it's going to be a lifelong marathon for all of us. It's something that we got to make it as practical as possible, and that is going to be, it's something that we need to implement into our routine effectively. And some days I know will be better than others, but we're going to have to think about it as not a one-shot deal or a one and done, but more as something that we could continue to implement ongoing. So when I was looking at the priority list, so as moms, what are our top 5 priorities? What are the 5 people or tasks that we are prioritizing? I wish I could hear you so you could tell me and take a guess. If anyone wants to take a guess, where do we fall in a top 5 priority list for a mom? Please feel free to drop it on the chat. I'll give you a second.
Our children?
Yes. So actually, we as mom, we fall as on the 5th on our own list. So first, when it comes to a priority list for mom, we are thinking about our children. We are scheduling appointment for our children. We are making sure that these co-payments are paid. We are making sure that we are picking up this medication, the refills are there. Then after our children is our pets. Yes, our pets. Then we have our elders, those of us that take care of our elderly parents, siblings, or aunts, grandparents. Then number 4, we have our spouse, our partners. So that's our number 4. And then number 5, it'll be us. Then we think about, oh, I forgot my checkup. Can you believe it? We are the 5. So we are definitely not doing very well with taking care of ourselves. Then next, I wanted to bring up what are some of the negative effects of poor self-care. So poor self-care is connected to, it leads to a lot of emotions, as we know. And yes, sometimes it can feel like, oh yes, I'm being productive, and by neglecting myself, by putting myself last. But in reality, over time, it will lead to guilt, increased stress, despair, poor physical health, poor relationship. In some cases, family disruption. In other cases, self-neglect, and of course, burnout. Overall, this also leads to higher risk of developing depression, anxiety, and poor physical health. Next. I like this quote. So this is like one of my favorite quotes that I was able to find when I was researching more on this topic. Self-care is a necessity, not an indulgence. And here are some of the benefits of implementing self-care regularly into your daily life. It helps improve your energy, your attention span, your motivation. It also increases your life satisfaction. It improves your overall health. It optimizes your ability to nature, to bond, to connect with your loved one, your children. It increases your productivity. It boosts your confidence and self-esteem. And last but not least, it increases something that we all need as parents, our tolerance, our patience, our critical thinking and problem-solving skills. So this is our meat and potato for this presentation. I want you to think about self-care, and hopefully you can divide it into 6 categories. So back in the days, many moons ago, I used to think about self-care as going on vacation, maybe getting a manicure, getting my nails done. But in reality, this is not practical. Self-care is not something that we should wait to once a year, to the weekend, or every 2 weeks. It's something that we need to practice effectively every single day. We have to embed this into our routine the same way that we do drop-off, pick-up, that we cook, that we clean, that we shower. We want to implement self-care. And for the 6 categories, which I wish to go with you one by one and encourage you to also develop your own categories and add to these already examples included in the presentation as to how you could better implement and consistently practice self-care. So for number 1, I have physical self-care. For physical self-care, I am thinking of your nutrition. I am thinking of walking, stretching, keeping up with your medical appointments. I want you to think about light exercises, biking. You could be dancing around the house. Just keep yourself moving and make your checkups and your routine appointments as important as you make every other task that you do. Do that for yourself. Number 2 is your psychological self-care. For psychological self-care, I want you to think about writing, taking 5 minutes to reflect, to process your day, your emotions, the situations, the events that may be affecting you or your loved ones. I want you to take that time to connect with yourself and set realistic expectations. Think about, okay, what am I going to do next? Where do I go from where I am? The third one will be emotional self-care. And emotional self-care is the practice of being compassionate and kind to yourself. We can be so good at practicing kindness and compassion to others, our family, our neighbors, in the community, when someone cut us in traffic. However, sometimes we fail to consistently practice self-care and self-care and kindness to ourselves. So I encourage you today to start being more compassionate and kind towards yourself. We already have a lot on our plate, and we need to remind ourselves that we are doing the best that we can, given the resources that we have. In some cases, these resources are limited, which we have to recognize. Then I want to think about number 4. Number 4 is our spiritual self-care. That refers to connecting regularly with your source of faith and hope. That means for some people going to church, for other people Bible studies, for other people can be just, going online or listening to a song that just boosts their spirituality. So continue to do that regularly will satisfy that bucket for spiritual self-care. For number 5, I want you to consider relationship self-care, and that's making time to be with your loved ones. I know we are busy, we always running around with extracurricular activities, projects, homework, you name it. We do have so much in our plate. But it's also so important to take time to connect with our loved ones, our family, our partners, our spouse. This doesn't need to be a fancy dinner. It doesn't have to wait to Valentine's Day or anniversary. It could be 5 minutes. It could be watching a movie after the kids go to bed. It could be going for a walk and talking about each other's day. It will be visiting your mom, your grandma, your loved ones, a friend, doing a play date, planning a play date with your friends that have children, maybe everybody getting together. It's so important that we stay connected to those around us, especially those that we love, because that's where our drive comes from, right? And that's where the support lies every single day. And then I want you to think about professional self-care. Professional self-care refers to seeking a job, seeking work that allows you to grow, that you find motivating, that you find rewarding. And yes, setting limits and boundaries. That means taking your vacation. If you are sick, call out sick. Allow yourself to rest and to balance. So with these with these categories of self-care, I invite you to add on to the examples that are provided on this slide. Add what works for you. What works for you and your interests and what your body and your mind respond could be very similar or different to this list, or maybe there are some similarities. So please feel free to develop your self-care categories, examples, and try to, think about this as like a garden. A garden where you have this one, the physical represents your lilies, your psychological represents your roses, and every day you want to water them at a different time. They all need love, care, light, water, and we need to pour into each one of them every day, or maybe every week. When it comes to physical medical appointment, well, that will be your tulips. They only come once a year. They stick around for a month, and they're beautiful, but you get it done, and you'll just continue. So take care of your garden. We are a garden, and we have so many needs, and self-care being one of them is probably the most challenging one for moms, and the most necessary, so that we could continue to create energy, give out energy. And that will bring me to the next slide, please. I love this quote. So this quote, I want to read it to you, says, "Our children look at us and how we treat ourselves." There's a typo. Our children look at us and how we treat ourselves. And this is a reminder to be kind to yourself, to accept help, to seek help when needed, to practice self-care in a way that you're not guilty, but that your children are learning that they need to take care of themselves too. That taking care of yourself is a priority, and it's actually a positive thing that we are doing, that we could pass down to the next generation without the sense of guilt and shame associated to taking a break, taking a nap, taking a long shower. So please continue to not only practice it, but pass it down, normalize it, talk to your children about taking care of themselves, because they are the future. Thank you. Can you have the next slide? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Looks like I missed a lot. I apologize. I just think you get off work.
No problem.
You made it.
But for what I came here for, appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Miss Vanessa. The sixth slide, really caught my attention. You made me to remember my children. Anytime, maybe if I've been busy all day trying to do one or two things, my first son will come to me and will be like, "Mommy, you look tired. Will you go and take a nap for 2 hours?" 2 hours, we'll promise, we won't disturb you for 2 hours. Even though when I go to bed for that 2 hours, they're coming inside my room to play ball, but we'll be like, "Mommy, no, we are not disturbing you. Just take a nap for 2 hours." Thank you so much. Thank you for this presentation. Before we go to the question, I'm thinking maybe before we go to the question, maybe Mr. Phoenix should do his presentation, then we just do the interaction together and finish. You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. It's so nice to be here today with you. Today we're going to bounce off of what was said earlier. One second. Okay, and our presentation is on the moms group and coping with motherhood stress. So today's agenda will have I was thinking of introduction, but maybe we'll do it and talk about the motherhood stress and then have any closing announcements and such. So as introduction, I know I wanted to get a wide variety of people to introduce themselves and ask how what has brought them joy besides their children, which is sometimes a hard thing to do. But for now, I guess I'll just introduce myself. My name is Phoenix, and I work at the EOC at the Head Start corporate office. And we want to help our parents and staff feel more themselves and more attuned with their bodies and just bring overall mental health to you. And so the one thing for me that brings me joy, besides my son, is that I like to write, and writing gives me whole opportunities and different worlds to live in, and so it's very big on my imagination, and so I like doing that, and I hope you get to reflect on what joys that you have gotten from your hobbies or interests. So managing motherhood stress. What do you think are common motherhood stressors? A lot of times I think that the most difficult thing is managing your time with your children and your time with the rest of the world and the rest of your life. And it's hard to balance those things. Sometimes we see them as divided and not integrated. And so if we can somehow see them as more integrated, that might be helpful. And do you turn the page? Some other other examples of motherhood stress are a lack of alone time, yelling or having a short fuse with the family. I know that happens with me sometimes. Mom guilt for having yelled and gotten angry, feeling the need to get it all done and wrap it in a bow, juggling work-life balance as a primary caretaker, definitely mom burnout, income concerns due to lack of care for children. That's a very important one. Relationship issues, caring for both children and aging family members, caregiver burnout. When the schools are closed, what do you do because you're working? Where do the kids go? Social comparison to other moms who might have it all. And lack of time for exercise and physical activity for yourself. And overscheduled children and family demands. And then you have finally unrealistic demands and expectations from supervisors or your career. I wonder how many of those you can relate to. I think I relate to all of them. But it's just something to think about. And that's just okay. And then, so you might think that this is very overwhelming to think about all the stressors in your life. You know, before you could just be in denial about it, but here we're bringing it up front and center, wanting you to really look at it and see how, in what ways can you de-stress your life from all of these stressors. So there is, so we want to say, first, know you're not alone. And if you have a group like this or another group, a support group, or even your friends who are the same, your kids are the same age, that's a support line, a lifeline for you. So even going to your parents and involving them as grandparents to your kids, that's another support line for you. So it's always somewhere where we can know people who we trust, and we could either talk to them personally on a one-to-one basis, or other times help problem solve our issues. And we could sometimes, two brains are better than one, or three brains, you know. So let's share healthy strategies that you have used to manage or overcome your stress. You can turn the page. So like I was saying about grandparents, asking for help at home. I think mothers maybe have a tendency to want to do everything themselves because they feel that if it's not done their way, it's not the right way. And I think often we have to let go of that and say, it's just going to get done. It will get done whether it's by me or by someone else. And if it's different from my way, then that's okay. And then, like I said about get involved socially, you could talk to your friends, your relatives, people at work. These all people are here to offer support and guidance when they can. And you can always take the support or advice, or you could leave it. So it's nothing you have to automatically have to do just because someone told you to do it. You can weigh it in your own mind and see which one is the best solution for you. Number 3 is therapy can help. If you find yourself tearful, numb, aggressive, or excessively irritable, consider therapy to help reduce stress. I think there's still a lot of stigma around stress, therapy, and I think once you find someone who has gone to therapy, the more likely you can open up to the idea if you don't want to do it, and just to listen to someone and how it has helped them, or how it has helped change them, or even how it has helped their family overall. So if you're a little timid about looking into therapy, that might be a good way to go in, to just talk to someone who has been there and see what they say. And identify stressful activities. Identify what activities and daily routines create stress, and find one way to make them less stressful. This one says one way. You don't have to fix the whole thing, just one tiny way to make it less stressful. And if you find that one way in other things, eventually they accumulate and you'll find an overall decrease in stress. And lastly, there's a little more strategies. Oh, wait. Sorry. Okay. Get used to saying no. This is very hard for me. I come from a culture where you never say no to anyone, and you just kind of like be happy about it, even though that's the last thing you want to do. So you're setting limits and boundaries of what you're capable of doing and what you want to do. These are healthy boundaries that stop you from feeling excess stress. So in the long run, it helps you because your stress is less. And prepare. Preparation increases our sense of control and improves confidence. So if the more prepared we are of like setting up all the food for the whole week, that's one less thing you have to think about during the week when you're occupied with kids or with work or things like that. And then of course there's breathing and mindfulness exercises. This reduces anxiety and restores focus. I often do this while I'm brushing my teeth. I'm not so much of a fan of mindfulness, but I know it's really good for me. And so I do it while I'm brushing my teeth or about to go in the shower. I just take 2 minutes, 3 minutes just to breathe in and out. And that's my quiet time, and that really sets the day for me. Maintain overall health and well-being. It's important to be on top of our health when we have to go to appointments with doctors or check up on all our tests and things like that. It's very important. And the last one is to start journaling. As a writer, I really like this last one. I think journaling has a way of automatically and intrinsically problem solving your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions in a very organic way. And the more you journal, the more you understand how you think and what your tendencies are, and where your thoughts tend to waver. And you can look at it on a piece of paper or on a computer screen and just see, you can point out where these places are, and you can adjust. And that adjusting part is where you can de-stress yourself. So I think that's it for the de-stressing moms. I hope these were helpful. Oh, I have one last quote. It says, "No mom is an island. We are in this together. And we've got our squads, partners, families, friends. They're our lifelines. And we're grateful to them. Now we have each other to offer support and be supported, to share in the laughter and the meltdowns. Today, what are you grateful for?" Well, today I'm grateful for all of you and everyone in this room, and this important need to focus on motherhood and the well-being of motherhood, because it's so important to the lifeline of our community. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now we are going to question and answer. And do we have anyone in the audience that have questions before I go to the questions I have here? I know I have a lot of questions here, but we may not be able to take all. I've been trying to sort those questions. Any question? Okay, I'm going to invite you back now. I have a question here, please. Let's make this section interactive. Here says, how do I find time for myself when my days are filled with everyone else's needs? Yes, ma'am.
I would think about it's a matter of time management and priority. Our priorities determine how we spend our time. So when you look at that priority list, you want to make time to say, all right, I get to drop off if you're dropping off the kids, or in between chores, or in between your personal tasks, your hygiene routine, right? You want to make sure that you say, okay, this is a good time where I can practice deep breathing. I can practice stillness. At the end of my day, when the kids are off to bed, I want to allow myself 10 minutes to just follow my breath, listen to my thoughts, reflect a little bit about what do I have, how was my day today, and then how do I prepare for tomorrow? It takes organization, it takes actually work and consistency and effort to be successful, as successful we can be in this task. But it starts with our priorities and time management. It's so important, being organized. It takes organization to practice, an organized routine.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Any other addition?
To jump on that, as far as organization, I think one of the things you mentioned was preparation. So if you know your whole day is going to be filled back to back with kids or work or whatever, it would be great for you to carve out a specific time throughout the day for yourself. Because once you plan it out, then it's not a surprise to anyone. And hopefully that will also help break up the day and give you more
Time. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, addition, ma'am.
And was that a question of like a personal self-care or just,
It's personal.
like,
Personal.
so what you do, basically that gives you a lot of time for, I don't know, sometimes I just honestly shut down. No is no, and, put my boundaries in place, whether it be read a book. I sometimes like old movies, so I, sometimes go back, and to maybe a nostalgic time, and, that brings me joy and just, kind of, and that's it.
Yeah.
Put that cuddle in place.
It's a boundary.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Yeah.
And I think, oftentimes, that was for some mom that leads to guilt. But limits and boundaries is something that we gotta normalize and we want to encourage because they are healthy. They keep
again,
you healthy.
I'm a product too of therapy. I am religious one. It started from, my employment and us dealing with many tragedies and displaced people, and you sometimes, like you said, going to work and absorbing those things, bringing them home and not being able to place them properly. That, I really, struggle with that sometime, and it has been maybe 5 years now, and I have been in personal therapy for about maybe 4 years now, so it really, 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 really helps. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people don't get it, I think, because they don't have the resources.
Yeah.
That's big too. You don't have it. I could never be able to do it if I didn't have insurance.
Yeah.
So, these are things that, outside of, that cause a lot of stressors too. The fact of you wanting to do things but not having to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, ma'am. Another question from one of the participants says, I feel constantly drained and exhausted. Is this normal?
No, it's a sign of burnout. It's a sign of lacking self-care and time to recharge. And sometimes we are guilty of having a cancellation our day or a little space that we should probably use for ourselves. And we're like, oh, I want to take advantage and now let me go do laundry or let me go and add another task.
Right.
And we need to actually reframe our way of thinking and how we approach our daily routine so that we can allow ourselves to rest, normalize it, and embrace it, because that's where we recharge. That's where the batteries, are recharged to continue to face our routine and the uncertainties. Because every day there is, things are thrown that come out of left field at work, in your personal life. Baby got a boo-boo, and someone called from school, that it's on the playground. And there's so much unexpected things that affect us. And how can we make it if we don't take care of ourselves? So that's actually a sign of burnout. And I would fully and wholeheartedly encourage to start implementing self-care and allowing herself to rest.
Thank you. Any other addition? You want to say something, Mrs. Okay. All right. Another question. I have lost interest in activities I used to enjoy. How do I get that spark back? I think it is like in continuation with two.
I have a similar situation where I've lost interest in exercising and fitness, and the way I've found, I haven't done yet, but the way I found to get back is to go with someone. So if this person could ask friends or a neighbor to go keep them company while they're doing this activity or share the activity together, I think it will create a better sticky quality that they would like to look forward to it next time.
So like an accountability partner, is that? Yeah. Okay. My relationships are suffering because I'm so stressed and burnout. What can I do? This is
This goes back to
very
self-care and communication. I think, the key word here is relationships. So you have relationships, and maybe starting with having an honest and open communication about how you're feeling, maybe exploring how this other people you're being in relationships in your circle can support you. Maybe there's something you can delegate to your partner, to your mother, to your friend, and they could come, because it really takes a village to make it out here as a mom, to build support around our families. So I think the key word is that you have relationships. So this could mean a support group. So being honest and seeking help, accepting help, really makes a difference for all of us. I mean, that's the way to make it practical, because other ways we cannot keep up with home, school, life, children, and everything that comes in between. So seek help, accept help, and not just the help where it's like, okay, can you hold my children, or can you do the dishes today, or can you do the laundry today, but also professional help if needed.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am, you want to say something?
I mean, to me, to also to when we talk about relationships, sometimes to let them go. A lot of times we fear the loss of, people in our lives, because we don't know what the outcome will be without them. A lot of times, and sometimes it's really, like Mama used to say, sometimes you have people in your life that will block your blessings. Keep negative energy around you to, not be able to, be out the people around you who should, have your time and energy. So, like, again, it's just hard across the board, with trying to keep healthy relationships.
I have a personal question, because I'm trying to relate this relationship thing with from my own culture. I'm from Africa, and we have a lot of funny mindsets when it comes to this motherhood and relationship. Wives are treated like, can I use the word? I don't know the right word to use. Like, husbands, the culture does not allow husbands, like, naturally to assist, especially mothers. They see it as a taboo, and it's still existing till date. Yes. So maybe you just put to bed, the wife just put to bed and something. Husband cannot bathe the child, or maybe take the child to school or something. And some men are still doing it till now. Or maybe your in-laws come around, they can't assist you. They still expect you to take care of them, cook for them, clean the house and everything. So in a situation like that, and you want to balance things with your relationship, because recently I had the opportunity to speak with some group of African women, and they still go through this. Even one was even telling me the husband cannot even wash plates. Yeah, the husband told her, I can't wash plates. And she has a baby. She's in school, she's working, So the stress was just so much on her that by the time I saw her, her faces were just filled up with a lot of people. Yes, ma'am.
In that, I feel that maybe, with them feeling in that culture, with the moms having their certain duties, that they are basically, that they provide financially, they provide emotionally. Maybe not like you said, like the physically, the bathing and the feeding the kids and stuff like that. But most of and I can't even say hard work, because that's sort of unfair. You know what I mean? But I assume that, the man take on the brunt as far as providing everything for the household, to make it easier for.
Well.
Again, I was completely wrong. so it's good to be enlightened on, how,
Yeah, hold on. The husband is working, the wife is working. They're both working. Yes, both of them are working.
so she has more of a load
Yes.
emotionally,
Yeah.
financially, just everything.
Yeah.
And then the children become more tied to her because she's
Mhm.
in the present.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
What I feel like is, I know it's hard for men, basically, when you come from the culture. Men sometimes, like in African culture, are trained. I mean, from the wardrobe, are like, okay, you have to be a good better in the house, you have to provide for your family, and that's it. So you're not being involved to the fact that you have to do the house job. Like you have to sweep the floor, you have to make the house look. Now, all the mentality you have been given from infancy is that you're going up to be the man.
Right.
And the man is what? Provide.
Right.
Just provide for your family. That's a key job. But the world these days is different because while the wife have to work too. And compared to back then when the woman have to be the one to just take care of the house and clean the house and then take care of the family and then you go. But now the woman have to work. So that now puts more burden on the lady. I mean on the wife. They have to work and then they have to do their job of taking care of the family. And then the in-laws coming over also might not be helpful because why some of them are looking at that she's wife. Supposed to take care of us. Like they come in, they just sit there and then they just cross their leg and then they're supposed to serve them. They're supposed to clean the place when they're done and all those things. But I look at it from this aspect that as a man, in whatever way, whatever you cannot accept, I mean, it's your wife. You know that our health is more important. If anything happens to her today, those people walk away. You'll be left with the kids and to deal with the problem. So you have to now understand that, okay, fine, what do I do to balance it up? You let them understand from the word go. Like for my family to come around me, I let them understand, listen, my wife is not just slow. She's here to take care of me and my kids first. So if I have anything you can do to help, please do help. You can't expect her to now do everything for you, and at the end of the day, you now want to cross your leg. Not in my house, please.
Right.
Because I was looking to go to my uncle's house back in the day. And he always do this too. He says, listen, any of you coming to my house, my wife is a no-go here. If she cooks for everybody, good for you.
Right.
But once you finish your food, you take the plates and go clean it up. You clean up for everybody. If there's place in the sink, you clean it up. You don't wait for her to come do that again. Because then you're relieving a stress, making her feel important. And the way you present your wife to your family goes a long way. And that also helps them to be able to, relieve their stress a little bit. Because definitely you will see demand from them in one way or the other, either sexually or whatever it is. But if they are stressed out, then you can't get what you want in any way. So that's where we men have to now understand that, okay, fine, we need to come and help these ladies in one way or the other. Either by helping them do some of the chores or helping them do whatever we can to just help them. Yes, it's not easy on the men because, to be frank with you, the ego is there. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we know. I know that for sure. The ego is there, especially when it comes from my culture. But I am trying to learn it. Okay, listen, it's two ways. You can't just allow her to do everything. You have to help her in whatever way you can. And then you have to do whatever you can for the kids too. Because it's both of your responsibility, not just one person.
I would say this is a very sensitive topic because it's anything that comes to culture, you gotta be, sensitive and respectful to that. But the key again, like you said, is communication.
Yeah.
It's be open to make changes. Yes, gender roles have existed forever. And however, for women, when it comes to women, that has evolved, where women now are also breadwinners and providers. But the expectation of also being the housewives and taking care of the discipline at home and homework and chores, that kind of remain. So I will always encourage, the wives, the moms, to speak to their husbands. Communication and setting limits and boundaries again. It's so important to normalize and see limits as not being rude to your family or to your in-laws, but more as this is healthy for me and it's healthy for all of us, because now we all know where we sit and how we can support each other.
That's good.
Communication is the key. Thank you so much. Though this is a very straightforward question. It says, is prioritizing self-care selfish when I have so much else on my plate? Health is wealth. It's not selfish. You have to take care of yourself. I'll go to the next question. This is from a stay-at-home mom. Says, do I need to justify my decision to stay home with my children?
No,
No point to regret.
no. If you are able to, you have the support and the needs, and this is what you choose, embrace it.
Yeah. And alongside, stay-at-home moms can think of something they can do alongside that can generate income for them while they stay at home. So it won't be like a full-time staying at home. At least you have a side income, even if it's just $10, $5, it's something. So that you won't just feel as if you're not doing anything. Because I don't think it's so easy for women to sit down not doing anything.
There's no way stay-home mom is not doing anything. During the pandemic, I was home for like 2 months, and that was the hardest days of my life. I mean, it was never ending. I never got a lunch hour. I was not sitting through the entire lunch. It was a lot of rushing. It was my first time really being exposed to being at home and taking care of the home 100%, and that was probably the time when it was a challenge to practice self-care, because we also had the uncertainties from the world around us, from work, from COVID, and I have the utmost respect. If you're able to do it, your finances and your support system allows it, I don't think you will ever regret, look back into your life and regret, I spent too much time with my children. You might go back and say, I spent too much time at work, and I regret not taking my vacation and losing all the sick time, and not using whatever benefits I had, missing my annual appointments. So, everybody's different, and every family priorities are different too. So, you have to be true to what works for you and what works for your family, and embrace it and be open to change that, because our needs change. And right now, this is the best thing that fits your family, and maybe in 2 years it's something else. So, we are like like clay. We are constantly being redefined, and our needs change, and we have to be adaptable to our times and our needs.
Thank you so much. So I'm thinking this is a straightforward question. Is it normal to question if I'm doing a good job raising my kids? Like self-appraisal.
Can you repeat the question?
Is it normal to question if I'm doing a good job raising my kids?
Well, I think anytime you question if you're doing a good job, is because right there you care. It takes caring about something for you to even wonder if you're doing a good job. So that right there says a lot about how important it is for you to be a good mom. So and it allows also for the mom to reflect. But I think you're already doing a good job, Mom. If this is already on your mindset, in your forefront, that means that your children are a priority and that this matters a lot to you. So just continue, and there is highs and lows. Just go on.
All right. How do I maintain a sense of identity outside of motherhood? Yes, ma'am. I want to hear from you.
I prefer that idea because people like more musician therapy or some topic, and I'm not a nurse, I prefer just listen and, take ideas, but not,
Talk.
listen to the spectator, whoever is listening, give an idea, because like I said, I'm not a certified nurse. I am not general.
Okay.
Because I'm talking everywhere. Some of them, like they are the certified. They give the best response.
Okay. All right, Mom.
I'll take it. I'll go first. Listen. When it comes to identity, it goes back to the categories of self-care. You know, finding one of the categories is finding work that you can grow. You know, that's something that you do for yourself. Your family could be proud and could, you know, definitely benefit from your income and, you know, the benefits that will come from you working, but you choosing a job or work that is fulfilling, that allows you to grow as a person, engaging in activities that you enjoy, watching this old, you know, your movies, this one, maybe your kids rather watching Nickelodeon or Disney or Netflix, but you know, this is something that you do for yourself, anything that you do for yourself, and nobody else is really getting any benefit out of it, that's how you maintain your identity. So, you know, engaging in activities that you find that are fun, that you find that are soothing for you, that allow you to grow as a person, that allows you to connect with yourself, your community, or anything that is important to you. Making that time to read your book if that's something that you like. That's how you maintain your identity, along with, you know, being a mom, being a wife, and everything in between.
Thank you. I have a question here. I'm thinking of merging the two together. Says, am I letting my children down by not being home more? The second question is, I feel like I'm constantly failing at one thing or another. How do I manage the pressure?
I would encourage setting a list and focusing on your accomplishment. I'm sure that for every topic or every failure that you think you had, there is 5 to 7 things that you accomplished and you are succeeding at. So you want to reframe your thinking patterns and your approach. How do you see, you know, how are you evaluating yourself? Are you evaluating yourself from a negative point where, oh my God, I didn't get to do this today, or I failed at this, or I was able to complete 5 tasks, I didn't get to one, but this will be on my top list for tomorrow. And, you know, I think it all has to do with perception. It is so important that we train our inner voice to be our cheerleaders, to be our support, to be of support, and not our enemy, so to speak, or, you know, we gotta train ourselves to be our own best friend and be kind and compassionate along with that. We accomplished so much, and it's sad that at the end of the day, if all we can remember from everything that we succeeded at and we completed, that it was one thing that we failed. So we have to really think about reframing that approach, creating maybe a list, checking off everything that you did. Some people are more visual than others, and allowing you to see, you know, your accomplishments for the day, something that could boost your confidence for the next day, and set the tone for the next day or the rest of the week.
Thank you so much. Any addition? Do you have addition? Okay. Thank you. Is it okay to ask for childcare help, even if I can technically undo it all myself?
That goes back to seeking and accepting help. So seeking and accepting help, if you have people in your circle that you trust with your children, first thing is safety, that you trust with your children, take advantage of that. Not everyone has that resource. Not everyone has that support in their life. So instead of feeling guilty, embrace it. And I think it is also very positive for children to, you know, look around and see, yes, I have my mom and I have my dad and I could go to them, but in the event that they are busy, I also have, you know, this other person, this family member, this babysitter, whoever your community, you know, is. So I think it's both good for the mom and good for the children because they learn about community. They learn about the sense of reaching out and that there's a community. Right now we are in a community space. We are in a library where people come together, where people get help, where people learn about resources. And I think, it's something that is a positive thing to pass on to our children.
Now I have a question from what you said. With that, can that have impact on the children's social life? Because when they are not attached only to parents or maybe siblings, taking them out at times too I think can help them with their social life, interacting with other people and try to learn.
Of course, because it's exposure. They're being exposed to what life is like at home, what life is at someone else's house, what are the rules, their way of life, the way they eat. One of the funny things with my kids is, well, they over it now, but they will, at home I will cook something, let's say steak, they didn't eat it. They will come to my mom's house, I love your steak. I'm like, what? Like, no, give him chicken. He don't eat that. He don't eat that. He emptied the plate. So I think it's a lot of positivity when, the kids getting exposed to the community, to other family members, to peers, to playgrounds, to library. I think, it's an enriching experience. And it also then allows the mom to rest somewhat, to catch a breath, so to speak, and, lay back for a moment and allow the kids to be and absorb what's around them.
Yeah, and this made me to remember, one of the rules in my house is when I serve you food, you don't waste it. Once you waste it, no more food for you for that day. So my children now visited one of our family friends, and I guess maybe what he was giving, maybe doesn't like it or something, so he trashed it. And the person told him, no food for you. So when he got back home, he was like, Mom, do you know that when I went to this person's house, I trashed the food because I don't like it, but she didn't give me another one. I now remember what you always tell me, So since then, it helped his subconsciousness. If you can't eat it, don't even collect it in the first place, than for you to now trash it. So with that, I now started noticing that he's now more conscious of what he wants. If he wants this food, okay, I'm fine. If he doesn't, oh, no thanks. No thanks. Yeah, that's true. So it's helped them to really understand, and they won't see you being the mother being too strict or too lenient, because when they try to go out, just that, like the word you said earlier, we should allow them with people that we trust, at least to an extent, so that, because children can easily pick bad habits too in the course of going to other people's houses. Thank you so much. Is it possible to feel fulfilled in both my career and motherhood? Yeah, it is possible. Very, very possible. It's just all about you balancing the equation, just finding the balance. And this is from a nursing mom. How do I deal with pain and discomfort of breastfeeding? Yeah.
Maybe getting in contact with program. I know that oftentimes they provide workshops too for new moms, and the importance of breastfeeding and how to soothe those payment needs. I think we can leave some resources about it for Harmony Healthcare.
Yeah.
Totally, yes, thank you. In that part, I think. Like you said, I am an outreach coordinator. My goals in the community is, of course, talk about the Harmony Healthcare and what services we provide, and link all the resources in the community, and say when people coming with that kind of say in our program, our Harmony, we have a big program. We program have lactam consultant. They provide breastfeeding education. They provide the formula, but also they encourage mom like with the breastfeeding, they have educators that they can provide what to take, parenting classes, they can help with that because it's really uncomfortable as a mother. We know it's not really easy breastfeeding, especially when it's the first baby. You know, it's sore, it's painful, but you know, when you know about the boundaries or the things about the good things about the breastfeeding, how good it's for the baby, that's, you know, you continue doing. And in WIC program, then in also the PEACH program have lactation consultant.
Yeah.
They have community health workers, they can provide that kind of education and help in manage all the paper there that you want to, you know, she's having right now. They can give the information, you can provide to them those resources and they can be able to assist.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. I remember when I was nursing my children, I benefited a lot from the week breastfeeding classes because my first son, all my children were on exclusive, and I remember when I had my first son, it wasn't easy at all because, you know, I was having so they taught me about the placement, the best way to position the baby, how the area is going to cover in the mouth, and you know, little by little I noticed it was healing up. They even told me they saw the breast milk will heal it faster than applying different creams on it because of the health of the baby. So, but if you are determined, and there are a lot of encouragement if you really want to do exclusive, a lot of encouragement from WIC program. I'm going to share the WIC program, then Harmony Healthcare, maybe later in the day on our social media handle. I'm exhausted from constant feeding sections. How can I get some rest? This is from a breastfeeding mother.
So maybe that she's someone that we can also provide information with. Maybe they could join their groups and learn more about, you know, how to set routines for us to breastfeeding that allow her both to recharge and also breastfeed the baby.
Yeah, then pumping it too. You can pump the milk because I remember that I was given breast pump then. So if you are qualified, because I think it's with
especially during the first
6 months, yeah.
The first 6 months, is 17 for the baby. They encourage you with the also the classes they teach the mother some kind of massage, you know, for the breast, and they can help you a lot with the pain, especially when you get a lot of milk accumulated. It's more painful for your breast, and they can educate after that, and provide the pump also in how to storage the milk and for the baby.
Yeah, pumping. And another thing I love about the pumping aspect is your spouse can assist you to breastfeed while you are resting, or maybe any friend or family around can actually help you to breastfeed. I feel judged for my breastfeeding choices. How can I stay confident? Yeah, I remember this. I remember this particular question because I know some people then, why are you disturbing yourself? You have formulas. You can just give this baby formula so that you can sleep well, you can easily rest, and you know, people at times discourage. Yes, I went through that a lot. So
During the breastfeeding, you play the bone, you know, the bone between mom and baby getting stronger, you know. Something mother or people don't understand about the benefit of breastfeeding too, because you know the bone between child and mom will get stronger when you're not taking your lap, breastfeeding them, and then for me personally, I don't think another clinic more tender and more beautiful than another breastfeeding the child. You know, like honestly, you see that it's really creating you like that kind of peace, that kind of joy, you know, to do that.
yeah, Yeah.
You know, like think about how the communication between you and the baby is getting stronger when you do the other speaking.
Yes, yeah, and one of my answers I do give them then, in addition to what you said, is I realize when you do exclusive for your babies, in the course of teething, they don't run stool. Normally, most times when babies are on formulas, they run stool, run temperature, becoming cracky and the likes. But with exclusive breastfeeding babies, they are more calm. Even if the run temperature is not as much as if they were not exclusively breastfed. So it helps more than, in addition to what you said, bonding. And it's something I really enjoyed. I enjoy that exclusive part. And the health-wise, it makes the baby more stronger. Yeah, they're more stronger.
I know that sometimes during the pregnancy you get some harm, and they're having a little bit to draining,
Yes.
That's healthy when you're breastfeeding because, that's healthy. I don't know how I'm not American, I'm not this, but I don't know, but the only thing I knew, and I noticed is that healthier. Every week, a little more time, more relaxed, also help you a little bit with the preparation also. Sometimes the preparation is part of because during the time you want to feed the baby, you are not easy, you are not obligated.
Yes.
You are, just spending that time with the baby.
Yeah.
And like I told you, that's how do you get during the pregnancy? That helps you also to do that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we have come to the end of the session. Thank you so much. Do we have any question from the house? Any question? Okay, so thank you for joining us for our participants online. I just want to remind us of, if we are in Freeport, Long Island area, Harmony Healthcare Long Island is very close to you, and sincerely have been enjoying Harmony Healthcare since 2019. And not even 2019 because I was in Westbury before coming here, and no, I can vouch for Harmony Healthcare. So you can stop by if you have Medicaid or any kind of insurance, and if you don't have insurance, they have insurance provider on site that can as well assist you with your health insurance. Let's stay healthy, let's take good care of ourselves. And EOC, if you need free therapy consultation, EOC is here to help you as well. Your phone number for yours. Oh, okay. I'm going to share it online, so it's free. The service is free. For you need someone to talk to, health. For your therapy, on self-care, better health, and the likes. You can give them a call. I'm going to share the link in the on this page before the end of the day. Thank you so much. If you have someone you want to encourage on self-care, you can share this video with them. See you next month. So next month, we are going to meet again 4th Wednesday of next month at 10:30 Eastern Time. Thank you. I'm Oluwadunse Ogunleye once again. See you. Bye.